Yo, what's up, guys? Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I'm going to be doing a 15K face reveal and jersey giveaway. Also, leave a quick like on today's video. It takes a second and it helps me out a lot. But either way, let's just jump right into today's video because today's video has a bunch of news and topics that I just want to talk about and discuss with you guys. But first off, make sure you guys check out my past two videos. My past video was me talking about the Chicago Bulls reportedly wanting to re-sign Daniel Theis. And check out my video I posted before that one. It was of Zach LaVine is expected to turn down a contract extension from the Chicago Bulls in this summer coming up. But either way, like I said, let's just jump right into it because by the time I'm recording this video, I just watched the Bulls beat the Boston Celtics. And these two past games for the Chicago Bulls have been huge W's. You know, we got a big W last night by the time you're more than likely watching this video. First, the Boston Celtics. We held them to under 100 points. And then versus the Cavs the other day, we also held them to under 100 points as well. And I saw the Bulls had a team meeting before the Cavs game, just talking about how, you know, if they want to make the playoffs, they need to be better on defense. And without a doubt, the Bulls defense has been looking better. You know, the Bulls made a lot of trades at the trade deadline, and it's looking like the pieces are finally, I'd say, fitting, and the team is just gelling and competing more night in and night out. Of course, the Bulls are still missing Zach LaVine, and he should be back soon, I'd say. And let's just talk about the first topic in today's video, because I saw a lot of Bulls fans, the second Zach LaVine was ruled out 10 to 14 days due to COVID or whatever, I saw a lot of Bulls fans and even some Bulls writers and reporters saying that the Chicago Bulls should sign Isaiah Thomas. You know, I just don't really see a point in that. You know, I like Isaiah Thomas. I know him and Zach are good friends. You know, he was a deadly point guard back in the day on Boston. You know, he was just a bucket getter, but ever since all of his injuries, he just hasn't looked the same. He's also already 32 years old. I just don't see a point in signing him. I know he did sign a 10-day contract with the Pelicans not too long ago. He really didn't play and really didn't make that big of a difference in his Pelicans, I'd say, few games with them. I just don't see a point in signing Isaiah Thomas. I mean, he wouldn't be a bad backup point guard, I guess, or scoring option with Zach out. But like I said, Zach is supposed to be coming back soon, so I felt like that was just kind of overblown, and I don't really get the point in that. If you guys want the Bulls to still sign Isaiah Thomas, I know there was some, I'd say, fans wanting, the Bulls to sign him earlier this season, and even at, I'd say, around the trade deadline. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about that. I'm just not for that, and I really don't see, I'd say, a point in that, even though I do like Isaiah Thomas, and I wish him the best. And this next topic in today's video is a very interesting one. I plan to make a Chicago Bulls top 10 free agent targets in I'd say a week or two. Definitely I'll post that video before the season starts, or off season, my bad. But without a doubt, around the trade deadline, the Bulls were connected to a lot of players, and one of those players were DeMar DeRozan. And the Chicago Bulls are expected to target DeMar DeRozan in this upcoming offseason. And this doesn't surprise me. I feel like DeMar would be a great fit with us. Definitely let me know if you guys think DeMar would fit with Zach and Vooch below today's video. I think he would. And of course, there were some rumors around the trade deadline saying the Bulls were interested in trading for him. I made a video on that. And also some rumors came out around the trade deadline saying that some people in the Bulls front office believes, you know, if the Bulls did trade for DeMar DeRozan at the trade deadline, that he would have pushed us into, I'd say, the playoffs. You know, I do understand that, but I understand the Vooch trade as well. So the Chicago Bulls are more than likely expected to target DeMar DeRozan in this upcoming offseason class. It really just depends if he wants to come, I'd say, to the Chicago Bulls and how much money he's looking for. Because I'd say some rumors did come out, and DeMar DeRozan said he's ready to move on from the Spurs and I'd say move to an Eastern Conference team. And a few of those teams that are more than likely going to be interested are the Bulls, Knicks, and Orlando Magic. I feel like DeMar would fit in, I'd say, honestly amazing with us. You know, he is already 31, which isn't that old. He's only making about $26 million a season, and the Bulls will have around $26, $24 million in this upcoming offseason. And I know some people think DeMar is more of like a shooting guard, but for this season for the Spurs, he's been more of a playmaker and a point guard, honestly. And let me just look at his numbers that he's been putting up. In 34 minutes a night, he's putting up 21 points, shooting 50% from the field, 28% from deep. You know, he was never a very good three-point shooter. He can knock a few down here and there, but he's not like I'd say a knockdown shooter by any means. He's also averaging about 4 rebounds and 7 assists a game. You know, to see those 7 assists, that really blew my mind. But then I went to watch some like Spurs games and Spurs highlights, and he was like, I'd say, the playmaker and the point guard in, I'd say, the Spurs offense. He was just running the offense and being that playmaker. He's very talented in that. He's got a good post game, good post fadeaway, amazing mid-range jumper. He could be that perfect third star to help out Zach and Vooch. I could see the Bulls targeting him. I really want DeMar on this team. I know there's a lot of Bulls fans that would love DeMar on this team. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video if you guys want the Chicago Bulls to target or sign DeMar DeRozan this upcoming offseason as well. And the final topic that I'm going to be talking about in today's video is, of course, about the Chicago Bulls and the 2021 NBA Draft. Of course, the Bulls traded this year's first rounder to the Magic. And if the Bulls get a top 4 pick, they keep it. If it's anywhere below that, the Magic get it, of course. And with the Bulls winning these past 2 games, you know, the Bulls are still, I'd say, kind of in the middle. They're right, like I'd say, a few games out of the playoffs and still a few games out of, I'd say, the top 4 in the NBA lottery. No matter what, the NBA lottery is all lucky. And I don't want the Bulls to keep targeting for, I'd say, a top pick, because look at our last few picks. None of them have panned out. You know, Wendell's traded. Lauri is more than likely on his way out. Coby White is still a work in progress. So, of course, a top 4 pick would help out the Chicago Bulls, but at the same time, I would rather the Bulls target for the playoffs no matter what. I'm not for tanking at all, but if the Bulls do miss the NBA playoffs and say we do get a top 4 pick, I'm not going to be angry. You know, I'm going to take it. I'm going to be happy adding another great talent to this roster. So, let's just say if the Bulls do miss the playoffs and possibly get a top 4 pick, you know, luckily, this NBA draft coming up has a lot of good point guards, and especially at the top of this draft, you know, Cade Cunningham, he's a great point guard for Oklahoma State. There's just a bunch of good point guards. Jalen Suggs is another great point guard. There's just a bunch of good point guards and very talented, I'd say, young kids in this upcoming draft. You know, like I said, I want the Bulls to aim for the playoffs 100%. I don't like tanking. I don't like getting a top 4 pick. But no matter what, the Bulls will more than likely still have a second-round pick. I'd say around 40 to 41. I'd say around there. And whenever the draft does happen, I will keep you guys updated if the Bulls, of course, get the 4th pick and who we draft with our 2nd overall draft pick. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about any of the topics I talked about. If you guys want the Bulls to sign Isaiah Thomas for the rest of this season, if you guys expect the Bulls to target DeMar DeRozan this upcoming offseason, and if you guys would rather want the Bulls to aim for the playoffs or I'd say tank for a top 4 pick, but that's of course a risky move no matter what. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.